we ready, 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 ready? Okay, everybody. Hi. I'm going to wait for a few people to show up, but I think Friday nights are working out. They're working out for these live streams. Let me know if Fridays are good. I'm actually just going to post it. Fridays good for people. I know a lot of people like show up later or earlier, stuff like that, but anyway, I almost had to postpone. I was feeling a little like I felt like a headache was coming on strong. But anyway, thanks everyone for showing up again. I'm going to wait a couple minutes, but I have been I went for a bike ride today after a year of not going on a bike ride. And I did it in 90-degree heat, and I was hauling the kids behind me, and it was like this whole thing. It does kind of segue into homesteading life, though, and I think that this live stream is not going to be as popular, considering I think a lot of people want me to talk about what the colonial pipeline and stuff like that. And if anybody ever has any questions about that, that's totally fine. But I would like to talk about how to start a homestead with a family, maybe because it's just one of those things where I've seen a lot of people lately that have been complaining. Like I saw this one guy on this Facebook forum, and he was like, we bought our property a year ago. It's me and my wife, and we have 2 young kids, and it's been really, really hard. And we haven't been, we've been struggling with our relationship and we just haven't been able to get anything done. And I looked at that situation, and I looked at our situation with me and my husband and my 2 kids, and I was like, that's strange. That's almost like the exact same situation as us. They moved here a year ago. We moved here a year ago, and we're wanting to build a house, and we're building all this homestead and all that. But they were just having such a difficult time with it, and they said that it was just too much of a strain. And I think when people say, I think when people have this like misinterpretation, they're thinking of the fact that a homestead should be really easy. I should just be able to get this house up, boom, bam, boom, let's do this, right? But I think the people's expectations are not realistic most of the time. So when those expectations that they had in their head are not met, they suddenly find it either too difficult, and they regress into themselves, or they just totally quit the whole thing and they just want it out, or they try to find solutions and they try to push forward. I really wanted to start building our house last year, but things just, it didn't work out that way. So I was like, you know what? Okay, so what can we do? Let's figure out what we can do instead of, what we're having trouble with or what we're not able to do at this time. You know what I mean? And so, I actually posted on that Facebook comment on that Facebook, and I was like, please, reconsider, either take it slower, or, maybe try to enlist some help, or, you said you were married, so maybe you guys could take turns, enlist the help of friends or neighbors or something like that. I mean, that's what we've been doing. When my husband built the greenhouse, we enlisted help from a friend, and it was wonderful. Instead of my husband just doing this kind of big project on his own, he had a friend to help, and it was a big deal. And I was able to be with his wife, and we were able to watch our kids, and our kids got to play, and that was really fun. And so I think that the homesteading life in general, it can be really, really difficult for people. And I don't think that people kind of realize that, but then there are other people that just want to go into it, head first, and just have a lot of fun and just see it for what it is, just an experience and learning, and, trying not to do too many things at once and all these things. But hi, everyone. Thanks for popping in tonight. I thought it was going to rain. The dark clouds are still over us, and it like sprinkled like 2 little two little sprinkles. But anyway, again, I know everybody kind of wants me to talk about the colonial pipeline and the cyber attacks and stuff like that. I have been talking about it on my newsletter. So if you guys I've been talking about it on my newsletter and on Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me there, try to go down, should be in the description here, maybe. You can go to Instagram or sign up for my newsletter at my website at roguepreparedness.com. And I post a lot of news and stuff there, but lots been going on this week, and I do want to address it, but not in this one. This one was scheduled just for this, but I do want to know if anybody in here who is not like, regardless whether it's a family or not, like what are you on the path to homesteading or wanting that off-grid homesteading life or anything like that? I really want to know if anybody in here does, but I assume since you're here, you're kind of interested in the topic a little bit. In general, when it comes to kids can definitely make, life a little more, it can make life more exciting. It can make life, it can make life more challenging, not hard, not difficult. Like if you've been with my channel since my first child was born, you know that the adventures have not stopped. The ambitions have not stopped. This channel hasn't stopped. Nothing changes, and I think a lot of parents kind of get, worried a little bit that they're not going to be doing their kids justice or whatever. But I think I look at it in the sense that you're proving a positive example for them, through preparedness and through making a garden or through canning or starting a fire, or these little things, making these bug out bags or, living your life too is a really positive example for your kids, of course, obviously giving them all that you have and teaching them and helping them and all these things, but also being positive and doing things that are going to help you and are going to be a positive influence on them. They want to see that you're also succeeding in life. And I think that that's a really positive thing to see from kids, see for kids. But okay, so thinking about it, or planning, making plans. Yes, thank you. Please hit that like button if you can. Homesteading is something I'm interested in. It's not really possible for us right now, but it's something I'd like to plan for the future. Yeah, and I think that if you are interested in it and it's something you want to make it happen, plan for it. How could I make this happen? Do I have to get out of debt? Do I have to, maybe I don't want to homestead in this area. Well, where do you want to homestead? You know what I mean? And so like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Like, what does your ideal homestead look like to you? Maybe that could help you too, because like, there might be some more challenges in other areas than other places, but, like, what do you absolutely have to have it out of your homestead, that kind of thing. So, yeah, definitely plan for it. If you want to make it happen, make it happen. Thanks, Bacon. Thanks for being here as always. Appreciate you. No Joe, huh? Joe D, not the other Joe. Let's see. So no debt, just trying to find the right property. That's another really big thing that's happening right now. And I'm sorry if I'm kind of dark. I don't have my light that I normally have. I opened the door to help bring some more light in. But anyway, so yeah, this is another big problem. A lot of people have been having trouble actually finding property because it either gets snatched up so quickly or they're asking crazy prices. It's mostly they're getting snatched up so quickly. I cannot tell you how many people I have heard that literally they find a property, the next day it's gone. And I think we just were in the right place at the right time, because even here in our area, land is getting snatched up, and like well companies are like 6 to 9 months behind getting people wells, and construction companies are slammed. real estate companies, all these places, they are slammed right now because of the abundance of people who are either one, just moving from a house to a house, right? Or they're moving to land. So it is wild right now, the kind of shift that we're seeing. But I I don't like making predictions, but I almost predict that we're going to see a lot of that land going back up on the market in a year or two. Not even that close, even. I would say, let's say 5 years. Five, not 10, 5. Within 5 years, I expect a lot of that land to be going back up again because I think that people are really wanting that land right now. Like, I think a lot of people are just kind of have that, oh, I got to get out of the city kind of thing. But then as things kind of start maybe shifting towards more normal, quote unquote, you know what I mean? People are going to start putting that land back up and just being like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I think that there's a solid group of people that really want to homestead and they really want that land and but another thing that I've been seeing that's actually kind of funny is properties being advertised as bug out properties. I have never seen this before in my life until this past year, in which I've seen properties being listed as bug out properties. Like, this would be a great bug out property, great remote property, bug out too. And I'm like, I just think that's so wild that it's being advertised like that. I don't know why I think it's crazy, but I do. So homesteading is a way down the line for me. Got the best rental situation right now. I want enough land for an airstrip for starters. Yeah, you and my husband both. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it, but yes, he wants an airstrip as well. I'm pretty sure you guys probably understood what I'm talking about from that. But yeah, we actually have enough space for an airstrip here. But I'm kind of like worried about the neighbors. Like, we have 40 acres. All of our neighbors around us have 40 acres. But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm always like, I just want to be good with my neighbors. And so, like, I don't want to be somewhere that's like, an airplane coming in and out all the time. Not all the time, but, I don't know. I'm weird. But yeah, my husband's been thinking about that too. I guess in a few years in a desert, no one remembers your name won't be true any longer. It's just kind of funny. Like, a lot of the land is just it's just getting bought up, even here in the desert. And even the little spot here, a lot of land, some land that was for sale is now kind of getting bought up a lot. But that doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to be like moving here or anything like that. It's just, they're just buying it, which, land's an investment for sure. Yes. An airstrip would be awesome. If we all just had helicopters, would you just need pads? Not, yeah, right. Speaking of moving out of state, yeah, so that's another thing. Like, if people ever want to move out of state, I think that we have to understand, I think you actually need to go there. Like, if you're ever actually going to to find a place out of state, you should really go there at least once, and just kind of at least play around a little bit. That's my always recommendation, just go there for a vacation or something and just look around at the property. Maybe you can go to like 1 or 2 places or something and just get an idea for the place. I can tell you for sure that we would not have bought property here had we not seen it sight unseen. One of our friends actually did buy property here sight unseen, and they got really lucky. But if you're buying property sight unseen, that's taking a big risk. I actually have another friend that bought a house sight unseen. I don't know how people do it. Like, I have to actually see it in person. Like, I think it's pretty important to me anyway. Maybe it's not to some people, and some people are cool with it. But so right, let's see. So many people right now working from home. They're able to move. Yeah, a lot of people are working from home. But, I think a lot of people just kind of want to be away from the cities, especially what's been happening over this past year and stuff. But yeah, a lot more people are working from home, so it's doable, Let's see. I'm nowhere close to a homestead or my dream, but I want it so bad. I'm using this time to learn skills. That's great. I wish you the best. I hope that you are reading up on everything and making sure that you're getting things going and at least having a plan or a vision or something to where you can, make it happen one day. Our eventual goal, like we were going to full-time RV. We were going to full-time RV, and then we were going to find a place somewhere along our route. That was our eventual plan, but then it happened a lot sooner than I thought. I thought we were going to be on the road for like at least 5 years or something, and then figure out where we wanted to land. But if you find somewhere, if you go on vacation or something and you find somewhere and you're like, hey, that's good, let's figure out how we can make it work here or whatever, but planning, visualizing, finding your ideal places to go, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like, it's just a weird thing, like that and I've seen more than multiple listings of people saying this would be a great bug out location. Pretty weird. Prepper's dream or whatever. Like I've seen that phrase too. Kind of funny, but yes, as Bobo says, baby steps. A book I can recommend about this very subject, Renaissance Man. Pretty sure I have that book on my wish list. I'm not sure. Anyway, homesteading with kids, with a family. Let me just get to it. So a lot of people ask me, like, how do you do it with the kids and with, animals and all this? I mean, it's just like if you ask any homesteader. I mean, there's a great Instagram called Homesteading Mamas on Instagram, and some of these people have like 4, 5, 6, 10 kids and they're homesteading, and all the kids are pitching in and all the kids are doing stuff. I mean, my kids are young, but even my kids are starting to be able to do stuff. And even if they're not able to do stuff, they're able to actually like visually watch me do this stuff. So the other day, I was not letting little Rogue into my garden for a while because she kept stepping on the rows. But now the rows actually have, growing vegetables in it, so she doesn't step on that. So I actually told her, and I explained to her, please let's step in between these rows, and I showed her the safe places to step. Now she does. It's a miracle. You teach children and they just do stuff, right? Yeah, so I explained to my 2-year-old, right? She's 2 years old, little Rogue. And she understands, and it's amazing, and so she was with me the entire time I was taking care of weeding and gardening and watering the garden, and she was totally into it. Like I was talking to her about the plants, I was talking to her about watering it, I was talking to her about the bugs, I was talking to her about the bees that were all around. They love my water, my little water thing. I had to hold her at one time as I was kind of watering with my hose, and all these things, and at one point she just stood there and stared at the carrots, and I showed her like that she could put her hand through the carrot tops, and she did that. She had a lot of fun with that, and she wasn't pulling anything out, because she did at one point. I was like, oh, please don't pull this out. And anyway, she learned. That's my point, and so on a homestead, you can't think of a homestead any differently than everyday life. You're teaching your kids the same as you would not on a homestead, right? And so, but when things need to get done, if something needs to get built, or if something needs to, a house needs to be built, right? Then we need to maybe enlist a little bit of help, or we need to readjust our expectations. So, let's say you want your house to be built in, 3 months, but it's only you building it, or like me and my husband could be building it together, but only for, like I could only help him, intermittently between the other things that I have to do, And he also works from home too, so he can't really devote like 100% time to it as well. So we both have things going on, and so it's a whole thing. If you want to do something, you either one enlist help, or you adjust your expectations, and you realize that 3 months unrealistic, a year better, right? So you be slowly working at it a little bit at a time. And I think that's what a lot of homesteaders, like with families, really got to realize. If you want things done, especially if you want to take your kids along with this journey, you got to adjust your expectations a little bit. Okay. And yeah. So let me get to a couple questions here. Haiti, thanks for joining us. Okay. How are the rats treating you? Our cats are amazing. They catch a rat every day. Not bugging us. I've barely seen, they're not in the garden at all. Like they, oh, man. Barn cats are the best. I'm just telling you. Barn cats are the best. And they're also lovey with us. I love these cats. We have the best cats. And so I'm really very happy. The rat problem is totally, we still have tons of rats, but it's almost non-existent. Hey, how's it going? Haven't had dinner, so I have to make some Ovaltine. Enjoy your Ovaltine. You gonna put a little steak with that Ovaltine? Grind it up in the blender? All right. Put the kids to work in the garden. Mom taught me when I was 4, and I have such great memories of what she taught me. Yeah, the garden. I feel like the garden is like such a really easy, quick way to get kids involved in really anything. Like Kid Rogue, she loves to plant with me, so I let her plant, and she's just, I've said this before, but I can't stop just swooning over her about this, because she is so good at it. She's just so good at planting, and she knows exactly how to do it. She's so gentle with it. And yeah, kids really like it. Kids love the garden. And now that my 2-year-old, she's loving it too. She's getting all into it. She loves to see the stuff, and she's just like, oh, and it's good times. So howdy, how's it going? Okay, so would you advise preppers to have children or not have children, which is more conducive towards survival? I always get this question, to be quite honest, and I'm not going to be the one to tell you don't have children. I'm not going to be the one to tell you, yes, you must have children. It's just like in life. Honestly, I don't think children have anything to do with negatively or positively towards survival. I think that if you want to have kids, and then teach them how to be prepared, teach them survival skills, teach them life skills, teach them to be self-sufficient, teach them strong mindsets, teach them to be strong individuals. But if you don't want to do that, but you still want to have kids, then maybe a different lifestyle is for you or something. Or maybe you just teach your kids whatever you want to teach them. But I don't think that kids are I don't think they negatively impact or positively, either way. I think that it's all in the parents, and I think that it's all in what you do or do not teach them, and how they engage, and how they learn, and whatever. But I don't know. I think I've had an amazing time with my kids, and I love my kids, and I'm proud of my kids, and I can't wait for them to succeed. And I see them succeeding every day, and things clicking with them every day, and I'm so proud of them. And I think that it's just tons of I think that I don't know how else to say it, like I'm not advising anyone not to have children. I'm not advising anyone to have children. That's such a personal choice. And honestly, it really has nothing to do with survival or preparedness. It has to do with you, and whether you want children or whether you don't want children. And that's it. That's the end of story. All right, there's so many homeless in Austin and the outskirts that I can't find an empty place to do a stealth camping video. It looks like California around here, homesteading on the green belts. In Austin? Oh man. That's unfortunate. It truly is unfortunate to hear that. I haven't been to Austin in a while. Even when I lived in Texas, I like never went to Austin. Way too small of a city for how many people are there. It was just always gridlock. And anyway, um, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Good to see you. Howdy. Okay, let me see. Make babies and grow food. I like it. I like it a lot. Grow babies, grow babies and grow food. There you go. Always good time to have kids. That's the goal of survival, to live on, even if through a new generation. That's so well said. You hope that your kids will continue to live on. And even if my kids, like, I want my kids to do whatever they want to do. If they want to grow up and be doctors, great. They want to be up and grow up and be artists, great. They want to grow up and be whatever they want to be. I'm going to support them, and I want them to be happy with either my hair or a bug. Anyway, I want to see them succeed in whatever they do and whatever they choose to do. And so, yeah. And, to just continue on your legacy or their legacy, or humankind or civilization, or however you want to look at it. Make tons of babies. We need more on our side. That's right. We need more baby preppers. They will treasure those lessons. Yes. Kids, they will. I remember most lessons I remember in my childhood were those outdoors. It was learning about animal tracks and tracking deer and picking blackberries in our backyard and doing all these things. Those are the things I remember. I remember camping. I remember all these things. Just the other day, we got a new tent, and 2-year-old little Rogue, she knows what a tent is. Our kids have been camping and all hiking and all this stuff. She knows what a tent is. So she goes to it, and she just sees the picture on the box and goes, tent, tent, tent. And like, we're taking it out, and she's like, tent, tent. And she's like clawing at it to get at this tent, and that's what she's going to remember. She's not going to remember, watching YouTube or whatever the heck, was going on. She's not. She's going to remember camping. And Kid Rogue, she brings up our camping trips all the time, and she begs us, let's go camping, all these things. And yes, that's another really good point. All kids naturally want to learn. We just have to be there. We have to be there to teach them, but patiently teach them is the thing. And that's what I'm trying to do just every day, just teaching them a little something. But yeah, kids, honestly, they want to learn. I'd be more worried about finding and vetting a partner you want to have kids with. They should be one that makes you want to have kids in the first place. Yeah, honestly, don't think about having kids just because you want them, as your survival buddy or your prepper buddy or whatever. You want to have kids because kids, they literally change your life in every aspect, in every positive way. A lot of people complain about their kids, and yeah, my kids can drive me crazy, but more so they just bring me a lot of joy and a lot of pride. And so, yeah, finding that person can be the most difficult part, though. Why does it seem like preppers lately have been encouraging people to get out of debt? Yes, I know the food in the grocery store has become more expensive due to inflation, but why is debt worse now? Debt has always been bad. That's always been bad. What makes debt good? It hasn't been lately. I've been talking about, I know that me and many other preppers have been talking about it for years. That's bad. That's never good. Why is that good? Answer me that. Hi, Morgan. How are you? I still want to be like you when I grow up. No, I'm sure there's lots of people you're going to look up to, but I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Oh, hey, how's it going? My kids are young adults and actually productive people. Hey, what do you know? Maybe had you a little something to do with that. Maybe. Thank you. Aloha, Morgan. I'm always late to the party. Howdy. How's it going? Because the apples don't fall far from the tree. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. And getting out of debt is a good financial advice in general. Yeah, I mean, like I said, somebody tell me why debt is good. Why do you want to be indebted to somebody else? Why do you want your financial assets, whatever you bought with that debt, to be in control of somebody else? Why? Why do you want to take out a loan from somebody else to pay for something that you probably didn't need in the first place? Except the only exceptions I make on this are house, land, and like a car. Those are the only three kinds of debt that I feel are really good positive debts, because you're paying them off and you're actually investing. Some cars, not all cars are an investment, but you're paying off something towards that I can actually really help you in life. But if you're putting on debt towards like a TV or like any of these other things that you don't need, and you're not able to pay off this debt, then think about it this way. You're spending, let's say you put $100 on debt. Great. Now you're accruing interest. So now you won't be paying off that. If you're just paying off the minimum balance of, like, let's say $20 or whatever it is, that $100 could take you months and months to pay off because of that reoccurring interest. And a lot of interest these days is so freaking high. Oh my gosh, credit card interest is so high, especially these days. Now, home interest and things like that, like home loans and things like that, I've actually gone down a little bit. But, I just don't understand why I want to be in a situation where I'm owing somebody else money for something that I could have just bought cash, with money that I saved or earned or whatever the case may be. Right. So, I just don't understand the question. I don't understand, like, who are you seeing that's suddenly saying that debt is bad? Because from my perspective, I've seen that preppers and everybody ever in existence has said that debt's not great. Get out of it. I know that if you look on my YouTube and on my blog, I have said debt is bad, get out of it, for a long time. It hasn't been just before the economy. And I think that you know I think it's going to be bad whether the economy takes a nosedive or not. I don't think that you ever want to be in debt, you don't want to wait. This is what I tell to people. You don't want to wait for the end of the world just to, like, suddenly be out of debt or something, for like your debt to be like relieved, or for you not have to owe it, or for it to explode into thin air, or whatever the case may be. You don't want to wait for that point. Like, it doesn't make any sense. What why are you racking up all this debt to, like, wait for the end of the world? It doesn't make sense. Pay for things out of cash. Pay for things that you can afford. Don't go into debt to get prepared. Don't go into debt to do these things. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Honestly, if you're in debt for something that isn't an appreciating asset, you not only spend too much, but you're spending money you don't even have, with compounding interest on top of it. Exactly. You're spending money you literally do not have. And like I said, I think the only exceptions on that would be like a mortgage on a house, land, a car, things like that. In Japan, I have a friend in Japan, and I asked her, like, how do you afford cars and things like that? And she was like, um, we have to pay for the cars out of our, fully cash. We don't have financing for cars. They have financing, I think, for homes and things like that, but they do not have financing for cars. And I was like, really? And we were driving around in her car, and it was a really nice car. And she was like, yeah, I paid for this fully cash. And I was like, man, just so smart, so smart. But it's just about it's being smart with your money. I don't want to throw my money at somebody who's then going to be who's forcing me interest, unless like, we have a credit card, but we have a credit card in which we spend money to get cash back. So we spend the money, and then, like, 2 weeks later, we completely pay off the credit card, and we just have the cash back. So that's our debt, and plus it keeps our, like, credit score good or whatever. Did you know that credit scores have been going higher and higher? Like just the other day, I was learning that like a 700 is now good, in which like but you have to have like a 800. That's fantastic, but like 700 back in the day used to be like fantastic, and now it's just like it's okay. Yeah, no okay credit. It's like when does this happen? Like it's crazy. Credit and debt, it's all wild. You just really try not to want to be a part of it, if at all possible, unless for those things like land, house, things like that. And it's always a heavy burden. It's so heavy, like people will spend hundreds of dollars a month just to pay off debt. Hundreds of thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars a month to pay off debt when you could be debt free and spending that hundreds of dollars that you're paying towards debt towards literally anything else, right? It just doesn't make sense. And this comes from somebody who was in debt, like severely in debt. And I hated it because we were spending so much money on our debt. This is becoming a crazy live stream here. Yes, credit cards with cash back for the win, as long as you are paying it off pretty much right away. Like even if it's just like, know your limit. Like if you know that you could only pay $100 towards that credit card, then you will only put $100 on that credit card so that you can pay it off before the interest accrues, and then you still get that cash back. Win, 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 right? And plus, when you use a credit card, you will impulse buy even more things. It's true if you have credit and that seems like to people like it's a mindset. Oh, I have a credit card. I have $5,000 on this credit card. I can just spend whatever I want, right? I'm rich, even though you're not. And this has created a society of materialism, and it's crazy. Not that I care, okay? I don't care what people spend their money on. I'm not trying to be like that. I don't care what you spend your money on, I really, really don't. But a credit card, with a however low or high it is, does definitely make you want to buy things. And some people have a hard time controlling themselves. Hey, how's it going? I own the bank that owns your home. Oof. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm saying, to pay it off every month. Let's see. You know who doesn't have debt? Bacon is a crypto wizard. Don't even talk to me about crypto. Just saying. Seriously, subscribe to this girl. Hey, Living Survival. Oh my gosh. Thanks for being here. I can't believe you popped in. Thanks very much for being here. Thank you. I'm just like, hi. All right. Let's see. Home Depot gets most of my money. Yes, that is true. Me too. Us too. Especially when you're building a homestead. Oh my gosh. They actually know us there. Our homestead, our Home Depot is an hour and a half away from us. And at one point we were going there so much. And the people just know us there now. They're like, oh, hey, girls. And they know us, know our kids. And we're just like, oh my gosh. We go here way too much. It's not even, well, it's a kind of a small town, but it's big enough to have a Home Depot. So thank you very much, Knife Tex. Good to see you here. You have been amazing these past few live streams. Glad to have you here. Thank you, Living Survival. But, oh, yes, back to you. If you can't pay cash, you can't afford it. That's true. So true. And my half brother said that to me a long time ago when I was young, and it really stuck with me. I was like, he's so right. He's 10 years older than me. And when he said that to me, I was just like, dang, it's so true. Because the society just tells you like, that's fine, no big deal, right? Credit cards are being thrown at you all the time. I mean, you turn 18 and you literally get those credit cards in the mail. I did when I was young. When I turned 18, I did get those credit card offers in the mail. And then everybody just wants to offer you a credit card all the time. I mean, it's so easy, but so you get in that mindset of, oh, credit's fine, no big deal. I'm paying that minimum balance, no big deal. It's a big deal. Anyway, thank you. Appreciate you. I want the sound clip of Morgan saying, I'm rich. All right, somebody make that happen. Thank you, Six Shooter. Where are you? Have you been here? Oh my gosh. I totally missed you. Did I miss your entrance? I did. There you are. Hey. Just like popped up out of nowhere. What's up? Let's see. Safety dog. What? You're right here. Did I even? No, I did see you. Yeah, I did see you. I said this. The crypto. Don't talk to me about crypto. Living survival. You better stop. You're so nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for being here. If you do have any questions about homesteading or whatever, I mean, my live streams are always pretty open. So if you ever just want to say anything, feel free. Okay. If you ever want to ask anything, always feel free. But yeah, so anyway, let's see. I guess I just really want to get the point across that homesteading, whether it's with a family or not, is going to be challenging. It just is. Especially if you're starting out with literally nothing, like we are in our property. Some people buy homesteads or properties rather, and they have, like a house and a barn and all this other stuff on it. And I'm so like envious of these people, because they have this stuff and I'm just like, oh, that'd be so cool. But at the same time, when you get something just straight from nothing, you can make it yours fully. And that's what I'm doing here. And that's what you would do with a homestead anyway, regardless whether it has a house or whatever, it probably wouldn't have animals, probably wouldn't have, like a garden all set up and stuff like that. But, you're still making that from scratch, and it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take hard work, and it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be so fun too. Like I get such a thrill and a kick out of like thinking about all this stuff that I'm going to do, the sheep and the goats and the cows and building my garden. That gave me such a thrill. I loved it. And, yeah. And I love building stuff like that, building all that up. Let's see. My parents gave me a credit card when I was 18, but didn't really teach me how to use it. Yeah. Boom, girl. That's the same with me. I was never taught how to properly use credit. And because of that, I'm not blaming anyone. It was my own dang stupid fault. But I did get into some really bad credit. Nobody teaches you these things. Like, just nobody. Like, and especially not like, many, many years ago, like my mom was probably never taught about money, and credit and all that. She had to learn on her own many years later. And, like a lot of people are that same way. A lot of kids these days still are that way. They're not really taught about money. They're not taught about debt. They're not taught about credit cards. They're not taught, to balance a checkbook does anybody have a checkbook these days? I don't know. They're not taught, to have a budget and stick to it. Like they're just literally not taught these things. I don't know if they are these days, to be quite honest, but I know that they weren't. Hey Adam, how's it going? Okay. Hold on. Whoa. Chat's going crazy. You guys are great. What would be your dream project for your property? My house. My house is my dream project. I'm so excited to build something like that. It's very exciting. And but yeah, that's definitely my dream project. It's a big project. This is the hardest working prepper out there. Subscribe and enjoy the videos. You're too much tonight. Where'd you come from? What you doing? Where you at? You got plans and you're right here. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm gonna blush over here. Oof. Okay. Let's see. We started with a house, barn, and small shed. Yes. A shed was our main thing. That was like our main, we like needed that shed. That's what I'm in right now for like storage and working and stuff like that. A shed is like so important. And then the barn, of course, you have goats and things like that. Really important for that. I planted 6 starters today. It's my first effort. Yay! I get giddy and excited when I hear other people planting gardens. I get so excited. So please don't hesitate to tell me all your gardening adventures, because I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I love to see it. Tell me everything. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Farmer just outside of town still uses the original well from the military fort that was on his property in 1828. What? That's crazy. What type of sheep? I don't know. I've been looking extensively at the type of sheep that would do really good here. And there are a few. There's definitely a few. Now, breeders. Breeders is what's really difficult to find, specifically here. I've been seeing a lot of breeders in like Nevada and California and stuff like that, and even in New Mexico, but it's hard to find the breeders here for just general animals in general. So I've definitely been looking into the type of sheep. I have not solidified on one yet though, but yeah. No well yet. Have one planned eventually. It's expensive. So one day the house will probably come first before the well. I just weeded my backyard bed yesterday. This was my first time doing a garden. Woo! Again, tell me, guys. Tell me. I love it. I crave it. That's so exciting. I'm very excited for you. Just do it. Do it. Have at it. I don't do credit. My folks got in deep in the 90s. I refuse. I'm cash only until I die. I respect that. Respect that a lot. I really do. Yes. I want to collab with you too. Let's do it. Hit me up, or I'll hit you up. Whatever. I'm pretty open. I'm proudly debt-free and will be hard work only reason I have what I do. That's awesome. See, and being debt-free honestly is freedom. Like when right before we went on our full-time RVing, we were completely debt-free. We're debt-free now. But we were debt-free, and it was just like this weight, like you're just totally free, like you can do literally whatever you want. You have like little tiny bills here and there. I mean, you can just, it's freedom. I mean, it literally is. Gave my son a credit card for emergencies until I found out he considered Taco Bell an emergency. I was considering doing the same thing when my kids got older, to give them a credit card for emergencies. And, I think that we have to give them the benefit of doubt until they maybe do something like this, where Taco Bell, emergency. I would think of emergencies like, car, whatever, car needs to be fixed or whatever. It's really funny you say this. He says, I would love to see do another short movie. It's really funny you say this. I got the wheels turning because I really want to do another one too. The last one I did was 2 years ago. I can't believe that, but I think it was 2, 3. Anyway, I love doing those short movies, and I have an idea rolling through my head. So it's coming. Thanks. Okay. Morgan doesn't talk the talk, she walks the walk, she does the work. Yeah, I think it's really important that whenever I talk about something, I'm trying to talk about it because I've actually done it, or like I've had the idea or something like that. Sometimes I talk about concepts that I haven't done or something like that, but I very rarely talk about things that I at least haven't researched really hard first. But when it comes to like homesteading and stuff like that, I just really try to just, walk the walk. I don't, I don't want people looking at me and being like, wait a minute, didn't she say she was on a, homestead, and see me like living in a city townhome or something? That'd be crazy. I mean, wow. Sheep are cool. Thank you again. Look at you. Oh, fire. By the way, I love your logo. It's really cool. I want to update my logo. I want to make it more, I don't know how to describe it, but I love my skull and everything, but I want to update the logo. Anyway, thank you. Thank you again. Appreciate you. I'm interested in if my plants will produce okay. What is your hesitation that you think they won't? Just curious. Some people think that they won't because maybe they think their soil is bad, or maybe they are worried that they're going to overwater, or maybe they're not going to give it enough food, or whatever. So what's your concern? I'm just curious. I want to help. That's awesome. Everyone's starting to garden. I made my garden twice as big this year. Yes. I love it. Love it. I'm so excited for you guys. You have no idea. I'm like getting seriously giddy. I'm one of those people that I get really giddy inside, but I don't show it very much. Like my husband will tell me something really exciting. I'm just like, cool. That's my response like half the time. So you guys are seeing a really giddy side of me right now. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Another short movie. I'm excited. Real stuff is better than a show. 100% agree with you. You know, I really try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I try to like, you know, some people kind of have some limitations, you know, maybe they're only able to do certain types of videos, that kind of thing, or maybe they only want to do some types of those videos, but you can kind of tell sometimes when somebody's kind of saying something that's a little off, you know, and you're like, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure about this person, but yeah, we got to pick our people. Got to pick our people wisely these days. But then get one. I pretty much, it's me and my husband that have been doing it, but yeah, I want to change a little bit. Ooh, a rooster. Hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. I don't think she knows I'm in here. She never comes in. She has to know now. Hear me flapping. She has to know I'm in here. Okay, sorry. All right. I want the intro to involve a rooster. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe roasting a rooster. My goal after my folks die off is to end up in a mobile home type setup so I can travel. I spent half my life caring for them. I want to see the USA. That's a very noble goal, and I commend you for taking care of your folks. Oh boy, she's getting into something. I knew I should have gotten her. Cats get all up into things, and they don't get into things, but they like get stuck and trapped or whatever. Anyway, thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Okay, this is driest spring I've ever seen here, so the plants should do well. So you're worried about overwatering? Is that it? My wife just bought a new car, came down to two choices, went with the Nissan Rogue. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's funny. One of my other friends, he actually had that choice as well. And I was like, well, obviously the Rogue, you know, and I was like, I'm not biased at all, but actually I hear that's a pretty nice vehicle just in general, besides the name. I planted everything from seed and I'm so excited. It's growing. So proud. Well, I'm proud of you. That's awesome. I've done a lot of seed this year and I've learned a lot, boy. But one thing I've learned about seeds is that you just never know. Like sometimes you're going to plant seeds from the exact same person, you know, place that you got these seeds. These plants are growing amazing. And then these seeds are nothing. And you're like, why? Sometimes seeds just don't grow, you know, and so, but that's why we plant multiple seeds. And you know, I'm going to plant, if I only want 5 of these plants, I'm going to plant 10, you know, make sure that they sprout. But a lot of people will do like the whole bunch, you know, they'll just like throw like 10 seeds down in like a little potter or whatever. And I found that to be very frustrating for me when I have to thin and stuff like that. So I like to do the one in each pot. So now I have 1 plant in a pot or whatever the case may be. And I don't have to thin or anything like that. I'll just save the seeds. Next year I'll vacuum seal. But that's me. Okay, it's usually wet right now, but it's been all sun for weeks. Cool. I mean, that sounds great. Yeah, just keep them watered and keep them sun. She is like getting into something. I don't want to leave, but like she's like freaking me out. She's just like trying to get into something. Okay, sorry. Let me know if you need a guest sometime. I appreciate you coming on mine a few weeks ago. Yes, thank you for having me, and I will definitely want some guests. I'm getting that process started. I have a few people in mind, including you. And yes, I will definitely have that. I will definitely start doing guests soon. I haven't worked at that nerve yet. Okay. Oh, I love this question. Trying to do what I can in an apartment. What do you suggest on inside growing? All right. First of all, there's hydro. There's aquaponics rather. Well, not aqua. It's the hydro one where it's basically just like this water and then has a pump and it circulates. And then I have to get a brand, but if you look into it, it's basically just this little hydro thing, and you can plant all sorts of things in it. A lot of people mostly do like greens and things like that. Second, grow lights. Grow lights take very little wattage. I know that probably doesn't mean a lot to most people. It means a lot to me because I'm 100% on solar, but grow lights. Grow lights are really, really good because you can grow literally anywhere. And the grow lights are amazing. The plants love grow lights. And so grow lights are really, really good. Otherwise, you can do, for an apartment, you can do like little container gardenings just on your balcony. Like if you have a balcony or some outdoor space or something like that, you can do like hanging plants. You could do just like the potted container plants. Sorry, real quick, AeroGarden. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Jean. You're always there for me. Yes, AeroGarden. Yeah, it's not hydroponics, which is good. Hydroponics is good, but I'm talking about the AeroGarden. Yes, specifically. That's the one that you put on the counter and you like plug it in. It has the little lights and you can do AeroGarden. One of my friends uses it and she loves it. Okay, so back to the question. So first of all, grow lights, have little containers on your balcony, porch, whatever. You can get that little AeroGarden. You can do sprouting. You can do microgreens indoors. You can do and a lot of these things you can just put like near a sunny window. Now, some might need a little more light, and that's where the grow lights would come in. But sometimes just putting these things like like I grew microgreens just near a sunny window, and they grew amazing. Okay, I have a whole video of it. But sprouts are really good just for like instant, 3 or 4 days. You get some good, nice nutritional sprouts there. And then, other than that, like I said, the containers, you can do hanging plants. You can do container plants, either inside or outside, or both. And that's my suggestions. There she goes. I guess she got bored. And I do want to answer this real quick. How long do seeds last? It really depends. I vacuum seal mine, and some people sell those like they'll last like 25, 50 years, whatever. I don't know. I'm suspicious of that. But I think seeds can last several years if they're vacuum sealed. I did do a video on that, but I would just make sure that they're vacuum sealed and kept dry and kept in as coolest place as possible. That's my suggestion on that. I got a joke for you. What are the best kind of bees? Arby's. Bacon. I do like Arby's though. Okay, I might have made a mistake. My little pots are overflowing with so many baby plants. Next time I'll only put one or two. Yeah, I mean it's totally personal preference though. Like I just don't like weeding out. Like I would rather save the seeds, for like next year at least, instead of weeding out. So like I'll do like 10 pots. If I only want 5 of them to grow, and then I'll just do 1 seed in each. And if they all come up, whoa, great, fantastic. But if only, a couple come up, well, then you've done your part. You've tried to get those 10 seeds to go, but, only 2 came up. So, maybe you can plant a little more if you have more seeds or something like that. So, okay, let me see here. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I would never store my seeds in a fridge or a freezer. That's just me. So just try to keep them in as cool a place as possible and dry. Dry and cool. That's how seeds are really, going to thrive long term. That's me. do whatever you want, but that's my opinion and experience with that. All right. All right. So I think unless there's any other questions, basically to get back on the actual topic of the homesteading, just do whatever you can. I actually have a video coming out on this, but when it comes to homesteading, you can homestead exactly where you're at, whether you're in an apartment, whether you're in a suburb, whether you live with somebody, whatever's going on with your life, you can homestead to the best of your abilities in the place that you're at. Homesteading can be anything from, just starting a garden, even just like a little garden, to getting some chickens in your backyard if you happen to have, a big enough backyard, or maybe, you want to raise some animals and then you can do some, meat bunnies or whatever the case may be. They're really good for indoors. Whatever you want to do, homestead exactly where you're at and make it work however you can make it work. Can, preserve, dehydrate, do all these little things and just do whatever you can. And, find those local sources for things that you don't have available to you, that kind of thing. That could be a really good asset to you. Local sources for honey, or heck, you could be a beekeeper, right? If you have a little backyard, you get like a little beekeeper thing. I've seen people do that. Bees are great. Just homestead exactly where you are. Don't worry about like, oh, I need to have, 10 acres or 50 acres or whatever that you think that you have to have for homesteading. Now, yes, for certain things, of course, if you want like animals, big animals, lots of animals, that kind of thing, maybe, yeah, not maybe, yes, you'll definitely have to have a little bit of land, but there's lots of things to do with homesteading that you don't need to have all that right away. So I love what he said here. Homesteading is a mindset. If you have the will, you'll find a way. Exactly. That's the same thing with anything. If you have the will, you'll find a way. Just make your situation work for you. And get beef and stock on my pasture. Can I get some of that beef? Just saying. Okay. Hi. How's it going? Oh, what are your fave things to can? I love everything. I canned fruit cocktail a while back. That was probably one of my favorite things because I love canned fruit. I don't know. I just like canned fruit. I love being able to preserve fruit, rather, I guess I should say. And then I canned fruit cocktail the other day. Not the other day, but like a year or two ago. One of my favorite things I've ever canned. Love it. And I canned venison a while ago. That's probably my second favorite. If you can meat yourself, oh my gosh. It comes out so good, so tender, so delicious. It is just the greatest. Canning your own meat is amazing. But yeah, those are my favorites. Canning fruit, jams, things like that. I love canning jams. Anyway. All right. I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you all so much for coming on. I should be having some guests on. I really do appreciate you guys, the interaction and everything. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much for being here. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.